Jamaica politics and cover. Pick up yourself because you don't know you will discover. Not a
Hey JPU family, welcome to another episode. How's everybody doing? Thank you for your patience. It's Friday night. Welcome back, everybody. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do. Please hit the like button and share the content with your friends. I miss it all there. Is the moderator here? I see some new names in the chat. Welcome. New people, welcome. New member, Geraldine, pick up yourself. Thank you for joining. I'm just I gotta remind people say you can be a member over here. Thank you for your membership, Geraldine. So, what are we talking about tonight? The hardest part of Peter Bunting's task. If you watch the recent protests that took place, the PNP went out there trying to rally their base, trying to test the ground, you know, you would have seen where the General Secretary of the PNP, Dayton Campbell, said that Miss Lou, he quoted Miss Lou, saying that dirty tough. And if you are a true Jamaican in the real sense of the word, you know what that means. Well, I am here to tell Dayton Campbell and the comrades them say the only dirty we tough in a Jamaica are PNP dirty. That's the only dirty we tough. And that's because of just a few men. Bunting, Golding, and Dayton Campbell. Them cause PNP dirty for tough because I can tell you no. With certainty and without apology that Jamaica dirty not tough more than what this man here Bunting caused for the PNP. So don't get it twisted. Good night, moderator. Don't get it twisted. As a matter of fact, if you really and truly look on Jamaica, when you look at all the development happening, you look at all the positives, you look at the fact that we haven't had any new taxes in forever. Let's not even talk about the crime. With all the good things that we see happening right now, every day somebody call me and say, them are have urban center here, so. And when are we gonna get our urban center? So whole heap of good things are going on in Jamaica. So nobody can tell me about say dirty tough anywhere outside of the PNP. Because I know the PNP dirty tough. Allow me to tell people. So let me tell you. The hardest part for the hardest part of the task that Bunting has on his hands. I'm gonna tell you what it is. But before I do, I schedule a program for Sunday night, which I'm going to delete, and I'll go ahead and just talk about it here. So if you didn't see it, good for you, but I'm gonna delete it and talk about it. It's this one. Yes, we're gonna just do a 2-in-1 right here. So tonight, I love this thumbnail. It's very cute, very demure. Anyway, so me could talk about this real quick. The hardest part of Peter Bunting's task is two things. Well, actually, three things. Number one, Bunting after friend up everybody with him this. Everybody wanna like him. I wouldn't wanna be in his shoes. You see him go off a vibes cartel in the worst, most vicious way. Go tell the diaspora say cartel a scammer. Not no go so. Go tell the people them say vibes cartel uses music to perpetuate scamming in the country and the what do I call it now? The degradation of the society. that Cartel and his music is responsible for it. Cartel is responsible for the deprivation of the minds of the youths and the young people, Vibes Cartel. And when you look, you see the people them carry Cartel company stage at PNP conference. And Cartel give him donation and there wasn't a damn thing that Bunting could have do about it, but just walk like some sorry little person when I have no talk. Right on the platform. Cartel just come sit down in the audience. He was right there on the same political platform with the same legitimacy that the PNP's hierarchy has. How ironic. The other person we're bunting a fair friend up is Dr. Phillips. We know to heaven and hurt. Say Bunting not like Peter Phillips and he don't like his son Michael Phillips. And there is Bunting dressed almost identical to Peter Phillips. The only difference between the protests that took place, which Peter Phillips led in 2019, the only difference between that protest and this one is the same thing, is that Bunting is now there with the microphone. That's all. Because you see, the thing with these people is that they don't know how to politic, and it is so bad that as new leaders of the party, they haven't been able to come and set them footprint. You know, them come in and them still a live in a Peter Phillips shadow. Same style of politics, not change. Actually, it's worse. But you can see they're still living in Peter Phillips's shadow. So Bunting has to play nice with all the people that him don't like, all the people them who him disrespect. That's a hard task. You have people like Skeng. Yes, you have people like Skeng where come out and come talk like some real top man in a PNP, and there's nothing Bunting can do about it because Bunting did go say Skeng is a washed up Dan and him no wanna Dan a influence. No Dan no supposed to influence the PNP's internal election. Skeng him attack. Him can't really come out and say how I feel about him. He has to just sit there and tolerate it. When he was asked about it, him said, look here. Me not go go feed me yard and he can't come on my yard. But we're cool. Very shady. The next thing, so that's number one. That's number one hardest task for Peter Bunting. The next hardest task for him is that he has to work for a seat. That's hard. Because him is not much of a politician, so he doesn't know what it takes to be magnetic with the people. So he has to be working or semi-working for a seat. There's no fanfare around him because this is coming at a time when he is more unpopular than he ever was. Coming at a time after he toppled his lead and toppled the entire opposition party. So with the fact that him have no popularity, likability, credibility, it makes it 20 times harder than any election that he's ever been in. So that is another task in and of itself. The next task is the person who must carry the biggest burden of trying to put back the PNP together is Bunting. And him can't manage. Because remember, him do the biggest damage, you know. So with that being said, him have the heaviest weight for carry. For put back the party together, whether it be the fact that they have to sit down and make Cartel walk on PNP stage and can't talk, or him a come back now, come hug up people when him diss up and not like. Or him come out now, come get even more vile in his language and his tone against the Prime Minister. Just all these things. So him not rest. Him can't rest because him have to do him have to do him have to do him have to put back the party together. Him say mash it down and build it back up in a 5 years. But in a building now go on and just smash down said way. Just smash down. So it's a very terrible when we talk about dirty tough. And then self them attack. Them could have never talk about Jamaica. It's a sad situation. May I open the phone line tonight, guys? Now let me just say this real quick about the upcoming general election. Everybody know we're not far from it, right around the corner. And I'm really surprised actually to see, and I'm just gonna say it. I'm really surprised to see that being so close to the election, the government party, they're not mobilizing more. I don't know if there's a method to their madness, but there should be more mobilization going on. I don't know how many of you will agree with that, but I'm not even going to measure it up with the PNP because the PNP has so much grounds to make up after the damagement was gone that them out there try mobilize and try put back the party together for the past 5 years. Them are mobilize. And for people who are mobilized 5 years and then not really I get no much traction like that, it look bad. But the incumbent party now, being this close to the election, you still have seats that are not yet settled. You still have constituencies where, you could have seen a little more resources, mobilization going on, especially the ones where you have new candidates, So the biggest question out of this segment of the program tonight is, can the JLP mobilize their base for the election? If you didn't know, guys, the last general election, the Jamaica Labour Party base was a minus 30,000. Sorry, votes, minus 30,000. The PNP was minus 128,000. So that's why when you hear me always say that the PNP base wipeout gone. Minus 128,000 votes for the PNP. And of course, that has everything to do with the destruction of Rise United, Peter Bunting, Mark Gold, Dayton Campbell. But here how the maths go now. This is tricky. You see, even though when you look on the PNP, you not see no base. You just see, and no offense to our elderly supporters or our senior subscribers over here. But when you look at the PNP, all you see is a bunch of old women. I'm just speaking the truth. That is it. You don't see a decent block of youth, a decent block of young professionals, people who are just starting families, things like that. Women, you're not seeing that. That's just a one thing with the PNP. Anywhere you see them, you're going to see a bunch of old women. That is their entire base. But here the problem now, and here the maths get tricky now. The Jamaica Labour Party, you see, any other not mobilize, I'll start mobilize very soon too, because only know say over here, me balance, I'm talk the truth. If the Jamaica Labour Party don't start to mobilize them base, and very soon, and start to make sure so them a pay special attention to the constituencies we have when have new MP caretakers who not going a problem with them all woman of a PNP. Me not lie, you know. Because the truth is just the truth. We have some work for do. Just like how the PNP have a more overwhelming work for the one time we are talk about the amount of people who did not turn out to vote. 30,000 on the JLP side, 120,000 on the PNP side. So both parties they have some grounds to make up. But for the JLP, who is the incumbent party and the government party, Fizzy said they not mobilize the thing as how them should and send the shockwave across the country to make the people them know say, as an incumbent, yes, you have your achievements, the crime is down, you have all of that. But at the same time, as an incumbent, you're supposed to run the place hot. Jamaica's supposed to go through election fever right now. And we not get that election fever something there. And worse, like how the PNP now keep. Something needs to be done. Anytime the JLP go out there and have a conference, the turnout is good. The people them look upbeat and so, but you have to do a little more to reach the people them who are not coming into your conferences. The people them who didn't come out to vote in 2020, the new voters, the independents. You've got quite a bit of people to reach, you know. So that is the situation. If the Jamaica Labour Party don't start to mobilize and do so very soon, the handful of old women them over the PNP are going to sweep on a foot. And that's not going to be good for Jamaica. You guys know how I feel over here about these people. Not good for Jamaica. So the sensible people them will not want to see it. I don't know. People say, the Prime Minister is meticulous. He's organized, things like that. That's all fine and good. But members say, a Jamaica where I deal with a people where if you get out those people for go vote, them after feel the election fever. Even when one party now keep, the election fever must be felt. And we're too close to not be feeling that from a government who has done so well in their second term. So keep that in mind. That is coming from a good place. You don't want your candidates them to get weary or to get demotivated because they are wait for the thing mobilize and nothing at all. Yesterday one woman called me almost a ball over Fitzjack's constituency. One JLP lady. She said the candidate over there, it look like them are gonna move him and the people them don't get used to him already. And she was almost in tears, saying that she can't believe say she has see some little thing where the JLP kind of go on like they want to behave like the PNP. Me don't really know much about that still, but me just a telling you what the lady I tell me say. Me no know. There's also something I'm gonna mention as well. Yes, I am crazy. Oh, St. Catherine. One of our subscribers called me a couple of days ago. So she's a silent listener. She over here every night. She tell me say she's a domestic worker. She's in her 50s. And she said, "Mo want you to mention this out there on the program." She said, "I support this government. I think they're doing a good job. But there is something that is bothering me." She said that she's a domestic worker and she falls within a certain income bracket and she pays into NHT and she is only qualified for like $4 million. And she said, "Boy, me want a house just like everybody else, but that not going to cut it for me. So I want you to say and suggest to the government if them can build some affordable housing for people within my age group and my income bracket so that we too can afford a home, right?" So I think it's worth mentioning. I think she said she was 55 years old. And yes, she's a domestic worker and stuff like that. And really and truly, somebody who is earning, she has an income. You're not gonna take up a house and give somebody like that. You're giving the houses them to the indigent people, them, the disabled people, them also. She's neither disabled nor indigent, really. So people like those, they want to have affordable homes too. So that is something that the government must try to think about. So you should take the $4 million moderator and she buy the lot. All the house are gonna go. I think she made a very good point. I think maybe that's something that the government can put in their third term plan, because the government come in and really deal with the indigent and the disabled people them and the elderly people them where housing is concerned, because they're the most vulnerable among us. But it's not wrong, or it's not off the table or anything like that to say, all right, then going to create some houses where can be a little more affordable for people who fall within a certain income bracket. Me not see nothing wrong with that. Me not see nothing wrong with suggesting that. Can be like a little housing scheme type of situation, where people that earn that amount of salary, all of them can apply, and they for them local amount where them get qualified from NHT can get them a local home. Yes, so that's the message tonight. The government. This is the first me ever see this, guys. All over here and know me, they know say I am not a fan of Andrew Holness's first term. This JLP government, me not like them first term. Then do something at them first term. For example, I had to go out there and protest against this government, but protest against Ruel Reid. Yes, I was out there protesting against Ruel Reid. And I've also participated in the first protest against mining in the cockpit country. Yes, I did. And I would do it again if I had to. But in the second term of this government, they have made some changes. They have realized some mistakes. They have fixed some things. They have replaced some people. And there's no stopping them. They're doing good. So you can go through life and really have a one-track mind. You have to be able to assess and reassess and adjust and readjust, when changes happen. And that's fine, But I have never seen, like I was going to say initially, I have never seen a government where outperforming at their second term and perform so poor in their first term. Me never see it yet. It's usually the other way around. You do whatever best you can do is gonna be done in the first term when you just hit the ground running. And usually you either become weary, or the people them were in your government or your cabinet, them do some foolishness and take down your thing at the end of it, at the tail end of your term. But this government, they are accelerating in their second term, putting their first term to shame. I've never seen it. And that is why at this point in time, we are say, choose Jamaica. Because the PNP, have nothing alternatively. The PNP did have one good chance in the first term, and I'm not gonna lie, In the first term, when the prime minister was more younger and never have the experience him have now, and he had some people at the wrong places before people like Marlon Morgan came on the scene, before people like Dr. Dana Dixon came on the scene. Yeah, this government, them could have get a good run for their money. The only reason why them prevail is because, and prevail as much as they did, is because Mark Golding and Peter Bunting them topple the PNP in the worst way. So that's why the government could have picked up so much seat. How some people who is not much of a politician will win in a 2020, we shouldn't even did win because they don't know politics. Them win because of how. Look here, remember the man will say, not even the CIA. Remember the PMP man will say, not even the CIA could have do the amount of damage. Not even the CIA could have destroyed the PNP in a FIDEM day, in a CIA day, like how Peter Bunting destroyed the PNP. And a joke. Just look on the 49-14 where the JLP get with some of the most inexperienced politicians and members of parliament. That can only happen when you have an internal enemy like Bunting and a part of destruction to take down his own organization from inside. I true something. So, as me say, Andrew Wallace and the JLP, them put their second term, put their first term to shame. And if Jamaica stay the course, the third term is going to put the second term to shame. I want to call in and tell me what you think. I'm going to open the phone line for about 25 minutes. This is the WhatsApp number. When you call, guys, just tell me what you have to say. We can't talk too long on one call because remember other people have to call. So if you want to participate, that's the WhatsApp number. Meanwhile, I got some information tonight. You see the lady with them kidnapped? My mama come out here Sunday, come ask say what go on, why these women are being kidnapped, and then it looks political. The woman still not get fined yet, and I heard that the police intensify their search. Good night, Roy, and good night everybody in the chat. Me never see the video, but somebody send it come give me. At the very last minute, I was just about to come on here and pick up the subscriber too. But she called me real quick and say, look what go on. Let me tell you the truth. You see, them are days, yeah. When you hear say somebody missing, I hear say 24 hour pass and then don't come back, guys. Me start think the worst, Because what could you be doing in 24 hours when if you even have a cell phone for yourself? You walk out there, so somebody go have one phone, you can say, listen, may have an emergency, please me I beg you a call. So right now, the police them on the case. The lady who is missing, her name is Lorna. She is a JLP scrutineer. And whatever happens, I am just praying to God that it is not political, because we don't want to be going on in an election where you have people are kidnap people or people are kidnap women and them style there. Because that is not good. That is a show of political violence that could get worse. And talking about political violence, you know, see what go on in America, you know? A World War III, then call this. Donald Trump and Elon Musk kick off. Big time, too. Elon Musk a call for Donald Trump to get impeached. Donald Trump a say him for go because I true him running, make him a go on so. Elon Musk say Trump is in the Epstein files, that's why they can't release it. Donald Trump say him want fee electric car them for sell, and true him say no. One heap of something people. So una go see the big dirty lawsuit them now a fling across the aisle. This isn't good. Elon Musk say if I never me you will win. One heap of something. Hello, good night.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, you're live.
Well, I'm telling you something. I see the video today and I send it to you.
Which one?
The one with them text for the lady.
Yeah, man, me say, are the surveillance where the government have pick it up?
I don't think so.
Oh,
That one there looks like it's private because it had the audio. It had the audio. And when you listen to the audio,
yeah.
and that's why I never send it.
Oh,
And that's why I never send it. I know you got to analyze them. Whoever send it to you, when you listen to it, you will see. By the time they put her in the vehicle, she was immobilized.
What that mean?
The person who put her in the vehicle, you could see the door was, you know, normally if you kidnap somebody, they're going to fight you, which she was trying to fight. Right? She realized that she them come for, and she starts screaming.
Lord God.
In the scream, yeah, the video had the audio. It had the audio. Right? And you can hear the difference, like something door. You understand? And when by the time you put her in the vehicle, she scream out again, but that is a scream where you know say something happened to her. You can hear it in the device. And then you just see like she move and him sit down there quite comfortable while the vehicle drive off. But they won't get catching up.
A people, it sound like a people them what she know, man.
No, well, the guy who know, I don't think she know them, at least the one who come for her, because when you look at the video, she walking down the road, the van reverse come towards her. She never run. She see the guy, and the guy basically was just walking towards her. And while the guy was, Zaria, stop! Sorry, here. While the guy walking towards her, it's like she never realized until he came close, and then she realized he might have a gun or a knife. Whatever he had, she submitted to him to some extent, but she had tried struggling and wait, whatever you want about it. But I hope, I think, was it you that said that the license plate was fake?
That's what I was told, you know.
if the license plate fake, them have the LA number.
Mm.
I don't know if the cameras can track. They must can keep tracking that vehicle. And we hope that God then can pick up the LA number off of the little license disc. The little yellow thing with up on the windscreen.
Mm-hmm.
Because that has the information that will tell you whose vehicle it is.
Boy, this sounds terrible.
They put one fake company, one fake license plate.
Mm-hmm.
The LA number supposed to, the LA number, I don't think they're going to get away with it.
This sounds terrible.
It's to see it, you know, you hear about people getting taken away all the time.
Yeah.
And to actually see it. May I read some of the comments, and people say they think a movie they watch.
So nobody out there never try to help her or nothing?
My understanding that it was about 5:30 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure, but the place look reasonably bright to me, or the camera then them really good.
Okay.
But that is ugly. Trust me.
And how much do you know she gone? From Saturday or Friday?
Natalie, when you watch the video,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you will understand. I am hopeful that I'm wrong, but just looking at the sounds that I heard,
yes,
and the fact that they were masked,
yes,
they're not very terrible.
Oh God.
They're not very terrible because she know who she gonna know who them. By the time she go in a vehicle, whoever is in there, or the driver, or whatever, or what it is all about.
So people are saying it's political or what?
I'm sorry?
Are people saying it's political or no?
Some people are speculating that, but
there's not enough information.
I don't think it is that. I heard a police, or was it Dr. Chang? Somebody since week was saying that there are two gangs operating in the Swallowfield area.
Oh, okay.
And the two gangs, something are going on between the two of them, and it look like somehow she get caught up in it one way or the other. I don't know. But it didn't sound as if it was anything political based. It sounded more gang related.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I'm more gang related.
Just
that she happened to be of a GLP scrutiny.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't sound like it had anything to do with our job.
Oh, okay.
Our politics. Not sound like it had nothing to do with our politics.
Probably family member get caught up or something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's sad.
We'll see.
Really sad. Sad.
Well, thank you for that information.
All right.
Yeah, man.
One other little thing I want to touch on.
Real quick.
The Dennis Young thing. Boy, that is another sad thing again. And I don't know if the PNP understand that Jamaica kind of, there's a certain set of way we're more intelligent. You can't come talk certain things and people just believe you. The base will believe you, and very clearly, you see them ask them what them out there protest for, and they couldn't tell you. They don't know. They don't understand what the issue is. Mm-hmm. So they're probably doing more. If you look in social media, and I've been tracking social media quite a lot. Me see also my friend on my Facebook page put up something. May I tell us when you're looking at comments, people just like, yo, just stop it. You understand? Stop the foolishness. Because if the man said nothing is wrong with having 28 bank account, me have one little business and a 8 bank account me have. But
you can analyze say, yeah, the Prime Minister did not have a 28 active bank account that he is using. And I guess the Integrity Commission didn't feel the need to clarify or, speak on that.
But even if they were active.
And the PNP ran with that, the 28 bank account, and the Prime Minister not even explain it either. So
even if they were active, it is irrelevant. what you want, as Dennis Strong said, is what's happening in the accounts.
That is all.
Is there evidence that public money has been funneled into that account? Answer no. But because we say this evening, you know,
This
comment on something this evening, say, see the Speakers Guild committee where was spoken about over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to think about it, but clearly the IC is infected.
Infected?
Yeah, the IC is infected.
What are they infected with?
you look up the Speakers Guild committee?
Briefly.
Okay.
All right.
And this has been a trend in this country.
Oh, you know what? I saw it.
Yeah. People always, you put people in positions, right? Crucial positions, you have somebody there for back for you.
Yes, and that go on for decades.
Cover you politically.
And it becomes a culture within
yes,
our institutions.
As natural expectation.
Yeah.
That.
All right. Well, thank you for calling.
I'll say I will with darling.
Yeah, man. Have a good night. That's a sad situation. You know, we need to break that trend, guys, in a Jamaica where you have these different institutions, and in every one of them, every last one of them, you have a political operatives. Why them do that? Why people can't separate them politics from, service and being objective where there shouldn't be any politics? Hello, good night.
Hello?
Yes, you're live. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Can you turn down the background for me?
I just turned on. I hear you now. Yeah.
Where you calling from?
Kingston,
Okay.
Jamaica. I think about this thing hard. I wonder if anybody really look on it this way because I say, I'm wondering if the PNP sort of realize them greatest fear for them, because somebody know them secret, and I am wondering if it's that is a fear, because them have a lot to hide, them have a lot under the rugs right now, and them know there are people who can bring it out.
Are you making reference to
Mr. fight against this money where the man passed through them business already,
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Chung, okay.
Right. He passed through them business already, and them know him know certain things. So, they might reach to a threat,
Okay.
But I think him better do him for do early because them have experienced them greatest fear right now. That means it.
When I said do him for the early, what do you mean?
Anything under the rug, man. Pull it out and expose it, make people hear how it goes.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I say he was there with them, That them greatest fear right now. Somebody who know them truth.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Well, thank you.
So, enjoy the evening.
Same.
And everyone who is listening.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think the biggest fear of Golden and Bunting is that when Dennis Chung did not carry their narrative of, yes, the 28 bank account, the Prime Minister guilty of corruption, he immediately became a problem. Do you guys remember during the local government election when Dion Jackson Miller came out publicly as a journalist in the country and said, no, PNP, you can't come tell me how to report the election. It's like say them either must say did they on social media bully her or something like that, in trying to get her to report and comment on the election a particular way. And she said, no. I wonder if somebody could have find the tweet and send it, come give me. Dion Jackson Miller. And they 4-1 on the night chat. Well, remember, wasn't that long ago, back in February. And she said it publicly. I am not going to change the way that I report on elections to give you the election or to make you look good. And I thought, wow, who does that? They were going around bullying people. And it looked like the same thing they want to do with Mr. Chung here. Hello, good night.
Hey, good night, Natalie.
Good night, you're live.
One of those who listen and watch, whether in retrospect or otherwise, and pleased with what you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to send you a link to something I saw in Africa. You know, I couldn't believe it that everybody else see what's happening in Jamaica, even apart from us. Well, it's not all of us still. But I wanted to also comment to see the fact that everybody is so up in arms about Dennis Strong. Is it that the only persons who can serve anywhere in Jamaica are persons who agree with such man?
Well, that's what it's starting to look like now. And, they're going to turn people off so much that people who are qualified, capable, are not going to want to put themselves in the line of fire.
To the good conscience of those who will be turned off.
Yeah.
Because my fear is that persons who refuse to vote are going to aid in such man's ascension, God forbid. So persons need to go out and vote. I'm a St. Thomas parishioner, and I'm loving my parish and
good.
all that's been happening for my parish. Welcome back to St. Thomas when you used to travel the hills and valleys and down in Yallah's here there.
Different thing now.
You'll be surprised when you come back here.
Oh, wow. I've always thought St. Thomas was the best parish when it comes down to scenery. I mean, people used to argue with me about it and say no. But I honestly saw the beauty in St. Thomas, and I thought all St. Thomas need, them just want beard. You know, when you see someone look up people, yeah, them just they want beard, and them beard now.
Yeah,
them look good.
Believe you me.
Yeah.
I am pleased with what is happening over here.
Thank you.
And can I say trust you? The best is yet to come.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, man. Continue doing the good work that you do. You love Sister Michelle and the other vloggers who continue to push hard.
Yeah, man.
I became overly impressed with you when you started that campaign against our sister that fell along the way. And we still say justice for Melissa.
Oh, yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
You impressed me from then, and I've been an ardent, if I even drop asleep watching, and waking up back, I'm in stop playing until it's done.
All right.
And I am there. I am there. I don't often get out there, and I'm remembering Liz from a time when they were on the radio.
Yes.
Always having our discourse. We don't know each other personally, but I recall her and her staunch defense for the policies of her party. But sadly, I take nothing to gloat here, because the fact of the matter is that you do need an opposition, and what you have now is such a farce. As I said, when I listened to that young lady from Nigeria commending our Prime Minister on what he's been doing and so forth, I'm like, wow, look at that. What is it take for us to see? I sent you the link in the chat just now.
All right.
Send it if needs be.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, man. So all the best. I continue to listen for the rest of the evening and beyond.
Yes.
I really trust that the decision made when the elections are done and settled will be in the best interest of Jamaica. We said choose Jamaica, hear them say, I choose you.
Okay.
Sounds like the rebirth of we put people first, and we know what happened there. So
thank you.
They put people first because they want people to. Yeah, man. If what I can keep you down, I can always be in charge because I love you like that. But this is about empowerment, and believe you me, That's what the sister from Africa was saying.
Oh,
She's
sure.
never seen it like this. I had to cancel looking at what's happening now. Just listen to what she had to say.
All right. Well, thank you.
So big up yourself. Good night to you and your team. Electro, yeah man, big up and the rest of the crew.
Yes, thank you for calling.
All right then.
Guys, you know, me I wonder if sometime here in the near future there should be an official launch of JPU. What do you think? An official launch of JPU or an official launch of JPU and Karen and 411. Just in the way that we were able to effortlessly change the media landscape, non-traditional media landscape of this space. Can you imagine the disinformation? It was so bad that not even the government never really have a good grasp on how terrible it was, you know? The disinformation got so bad that a woman could have lose her life so viciously. And the political party that we look to say them are opposition and will do what is right, them come out with them supporters and try to deny this woman justice, lying about her cause of death. So can you imagine if it had not been for the voices of people of our tribe out here in the Jamaican community, the things that would be happening. While it is all fine and good to, come out and bring the truth and dispel the lies and stuff like that, I am very glad that the government finally found their footing when it comes to, getting spokespeople that can do a good job where communication is concerned. Finally. Because little most the liar people them take on down prematurely. See Julian Robbins to come out a couple of days ago for come out, come apologize. Because these people have not become, they're not a people who fact check, a people who make sure that they understand the responsibility of being servants of the people and politicians, where they check their information, double check their information before they come out here, come talk. Every day, it's a lie. Every single day is a lie. Now, some people might look upon it and say, Julian, come out and come do the right thing or whatever. Yeah, it's good that he came out and acknowledged, that he said something false about the people them. And the people then come out, come put out statements, say him need to retract it or else. It's good. While it's good that he came out and did that, the accumulation of the way that the PNP today go about politics, or them just come out, come say anything and do anything, and them not care if it turn out to be lie. I think sometimes they deliberately come out with lies, and them not think about, them not care about the repercussion. So by the time Julian come out, come say, I withdraw my statement, I apologize, people are just looking like this is an everyday thing. We're so accustomed to you guys lying that even when you come out and say, you know what, I'm sorry, it just seemed like, okay, that's what the PNP does. It looks bad.
Statement that First Rock Real Estate. Earlier today, I made a statement that First Rock Real Estate was placed in receivership. That is incorrect. First Rock is not in receivership. Hambani, which is a real estate project undertaken by First Rock, was placed in receivership by a local bank. I wish.
No, so he apologized. I don't want to play the whole thing, but he apologized. But how could you make such a mistake before you even come out to come say this to the country? You never look and make sure say all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. That's the responsibility of people who call themselves public servants. They have to make sure that when they are disseminating information that it's factual, right? At least him come out and come say him sorry. Look pan Bunting, we go in the Senate 2 weeks ago go tell lie pan the PNP contractor. And to this day, he has not apologized. He has not acknowledged that what he did was wrong. And if I never had a platform here with our credibility, where the gentleman who I never spoke with before needed a place to go to say this man is lying on me and trying to put my business in danger and trying to, get his political one-upsmanship at my expense. And then the mainstream media run with it, which is right. So Julian come out and say, I'm sorry, Bunting. This is what them do to the Jamaican people. And them, this I want him to come up. No, can you imagine, guys? Them people are tell a lie upon you. You as a citizen of the country, a civilian, and them with the power of the opposition leadership, the power of government, the power of information. Can you imagine them people that tell a lie upon you? Whether deliberate or not deliberate? This is not safe. Long time I tell you. Hello, good night.
Good night. How are you, my dear?
Good, how are you?
I'm giving thanks in a little pain, but I'm just listening to what you're saying, and I'm in total agreement. But the PNP lies so often until it becomes true for some persons, or they keep lying until it sounds true to themselves.
Mm.
And it's just, it is disgusting, it is annoying, and it is so wrong. I'm happy Julian came out, but for me, too little, too late. You should have checked before you opened your mouth. But they do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
On the thing with St. Thomas, my dad was from St. Thomas, and I was in tears the day when the opening was going on, because he would have been so proud.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in Kingston, but my parents moved to the North Coast. And every month we used to travel back to St. Thomas to visit my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts. Some of them are still there. And when I saw what happened, because we used to pass, and it was, when we reach out, Daddy always said, good year tire factory over there, and everybody, people, looking out for good year tire factory.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to come back to this, I tell you, if my dad was here, he would have been like, because they call him the king of the East, he would have been so elated.
Wow.
And hear people tearing it down and say this and that. And the same people were complaining. St. Thomas is a forgotten parish. I wasn't born there. I was born in Kingston. But that's part of my heritage.
Okay.
And I'm happy for what is happening. And I'm glad that when I say, the JLP brought out their thing to tear down this information, that people have to go and Connecticut and cry about them PR better than us, and we don't know where to go. And in the days when people were told you can go to Miami if you can go by one, I said, go to Miami, 3 flights a day and leave. And when I looked at it and I saw so many people run away and leave their houses in Cardiff or in St. Anne for one. I know about Cardiff Hall. They left their nice house and gone because things were not going well. And to think that when I saw Prime Minister went to Miramar the other day and said, come back home, come and build, come and open your businesses, come back to Jamaica. You know, run the people in left and country. It's like you tell them to self-deport. 3 flights a day I left 1977. I was still around. I know about it. And I'm just happy. And I'm saying to the labor rights tonight, you know, sit down there and make who can talk now, who can read, go vote on your behalf and put them back where we are come from. We not go back there, so. So labor rights. Oh, you know, but I jump up and talk about, yes, it confirmed that we're on the road to recovery. Yes, we're on the road to winning. We're not winning yet. Yes, it confirms that we're on the road, but we're not taking a backside out and go vote. Because if you sit down and make them people no know they put the paper in front of them, you know, I'm sorry for you know, and me I go get caught up in it too. But me I go vote, you know, to make sure it don't happen. You understand me?
Yes.
On the matter of health, people are complaining. People are dead, died and pump dead and dead. You know what people that American all over the first world country them sit down in that waiting area and dead. And we are going to kill one another. Yeah, and you don't remember that some of the people in the hospital will take up the bed. After you see them family member, they want you to go for them discharge them much years. Go take them out of the hospital and free up the bed them. And they love freeing it. And then they come and they man and talk about, we're going to make healthcare affordable. And when an idiot still like, yeah. You know what affordable means? That you need to pay. And cut the shit out and move on, man. At times we don't walk on the eyes and see what going on. I mean, don't bother with the foolishness. Yes, we don't win yet. At the vote I got count on that night. So no, please, be a big on labor right. Because this is no joke.
Well, all who can hear, I forgot just feel, no so.
This is no joke. You know what going on with some other people, some other places. When they wouldn't hear, can one 2 black and one a female, one of that. And you see what is happening now? Your own family members got caught up in there, because we just won't sit and listen. People can read, and understand, you know, man. And everything when somebody said, I saw it go, no. A lot of us can read. Read up, man. And listen to people who have sense. And don't make who can read, not talk, vote for you.
Thank you.
For yourselves.
Then hear you.
Have a good night, my darling.
Thank you for calling.
All right, all the best.
Yes. Guys, what would you say again? Who can afford to run will run. That's how you go. I want to show you something what the delusional people them say before I log off here. I'll soon take a call. May I come? Because it's not real. The Observer reported this evening. Said Peter Bunting had the nerve. I cannot understand for the life of me how the Jamaica Observer could publish a thing like this. It's the JLP's fault. Bunting says Wholeness Administration created atmosphere for murders to go to spiral. Now, guys, wanna tell me if this is not a madman in a clean clothes talking? Eh? Opposition spokesman on national security, Peter Bunting, has lashed out at the government for what he insists are policies that led to years of spiraling murder, hammering the government for protracted reliance on states of public emergencies as a crime-fighting tool. Bunting said, quote, there was no reduction in murder anywhere. In fact, there was a 25% increase in entire Jamaica year after year. We know what this is, mental illness. No joke. I mean, I laugh about it because sometimes, people might have the mental illness and they recognize there's something wrong and they look after themselves. But when I tell you guys that the PNP hierarchy The entire PNP hierarchy are some mentally ill people. Me not joke, man. And I'm not trying to be funny and I'm not trying to be condescending. Look at the things that they do and say. Like, me, yeah, one of the things say me now, I gotta justify this. None of this makes sense. This is a blatant lie. And a people when I have nothing to do would have come out and try to even explain this away. Because this is just a blatant, desperate lie. This doesn't make any sense. I want to tell you something. For the month of May, down there in St. James, 1 homicide recorded for the month of May. I wonder if you recall when you go down at St. James a couple of years ago. And when you look at people between the ages of as young as 9 years old to maybe 20 years, especially young men, and even women and children. One time, one of my friend from St. James tell me, say, Nats, if you go down at St. James right now, you see one group of young men standing up. Out of a group of about 5, maybe about 3 of them get shot already. St. James was horrible. People could even keep funeral in peace down there. You remember, don't it? And to come today and report that in the month of May, 1 homicide. That's significant. And it was attributed to states of emergency, zones of special operation. Some of the gang, them take out them one another. Police work. It's a whole host of things. So, them stop me away this man here attack. Somebody need to carry him, go look after him, because as some knows there's something wrong with him tonight. When me say this evening, couldn't believe it. Something is wrong. This is not normal. I mean, lying is, I guess you could say lying is a diagnosis, pathological lying, a clinical problem. And Jamaica people know say this is not true. Even when the data is showing us, even when, I know we say it, even when other people in the diaspora and the US Secretary of State, them will have put out travel advisory upon people. Sorry guys, some kind of accessibility something on the computer. Start talk. I don't know what this, must soon fix it. Anyway, let me just take this one last call and then check out here. Hello, good night.
Yes, not to me again. Don't worry yourself, more answer something to you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it was Portia who sort of pushed Andrew Holness to be the best prime minister we ever experienced.
Well, it's possibly, because...
Yeah, because she used the words, I'll be watching you like her.
Oh.
You remember? I'll be watching you like a hawk.
Yeah.
So she technically pushed this man to be the best prime minister this country ever experienced.
Well,
so
the two of them did have a good relationship.
How them turn that now? How you turn that wrong?
Well, the truth is the prime minister today and the former prime minister, they They had a few contentious moments, but nothing crazy. But I think they had a decent relationship, and I think they both inspired each other. Yeah. Andrew Wallace never come into farm them time there. Him still a try find him rhythm, And looking on at Portia, who was very popular, very likable and everything. Him learn a thing or two. Maybe not just from Portia, but
it seemed to me as if Andrew Michael Holness is using Michael Manley's basically a lot of his ideas that he had back in those days.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, him use them up, man, because you see them create and put down and lockdown, but this man use them up.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man, she calls it on her own party, and she push a man to be the best prime minister this country ever experienced, so them for blame themselves and take just quiet and go easy. So me see.
Nothing wrong, because them have a saying we say, when a government is there, them say your government is supposed to be as good or as bad as your opposition.
As the opposition.
Yeah, but...
Right? So if we don't have a good opposition, we'll never get a good government.
Yes.
Right? But it's a good opposition for them now. Well, we know how it go, but we're gonna say, yeah, you push, you push it, Whatever, lie or truth, is them push it.
Well, this government, I think this government learned them lesson and learned it very well.
Right.
After their first term, I think they basically came in with, a different plan, because if they must start the truth, I don't know if they would start this truth publicly, but them second term, I beat them first term bad.
Big time.
And at the worst of the PNP we ever see in this time, and not because the PNP is doing anything good, because they've mostly been infighting anyway. So it's just that the government make up their minds, say, listen, we have to fix this and turn it around. And that they did.
Natalie, the comparance, how we compare a man who is active doing things with a man who is just talking. How we do that?
That's a good question, I don't know. It would be very interesting to see Mr. Holness, Dr. Holness, and Mark Golding on a debate stage. That just that me I wait for,
That's I'm afraid that Jamaica voters them, That's the truth.
For sure?
I'm afraid of them, God Almighty knows I'm afraid of them,
I'm
afraid of them, but I'm glad I have one visa for the slung pan, so them can go and do what them do, I'll make use of my own, sir, but that's how it go.
I force me to some other
people over my head, no way, I don't want a ruler, I don't want a leader. I don't want a ruler, I want a leader.
Yes, you're afraid of Jamaica vote. That's very interesting comment.
I'm afraid of them, Natalie, I tell you the truth, because I sometimes you wonder what are they voting for? Do you ever think about tomorrow? All them think about is today.
Oh, Jesus. Well, make we process that. You're afraid of the vote. Make we process that.
And I'm going to give you one next one. I made it talk to you about it already. But now I said to the Jamaica people, say, look here. I remember the days when we used to buy gas by the gallon. And basically today you have liters. But it's 3.8 liters make a gallon. Basically them round off at 4. Right? I don't know anything about. But remember we changed from gallon to liter in this country. So you basically change from a gallon which is 4 liters to a liter, which is 1 liter, right? Did we change the price?
All right.
Imagine you take out 3 liter out of the man gallon and give him 1 liter for the same gallon price. That's what happened to Jamaica people already, them don't see it all now, too much blind people there, too much dunce people there, Natalie.
Oh God, man, at 88% of the population literate, and the other 12% are them are the loudest ones it look like.
Right now, I'm afraid of the people,
All right, well, make we see how it go. Make we see if them not love them country.
Enjoy.
Yeah, man. Thank you for calling.
Great. Great all the way through. My dear.
Yeah.
Take care.
Me not afraid of the vote of them. Me not one thing me ever say all who can't hear have to feel. That's all. Because if let us say that some people are fooled by the disinformation. And when you have non-traditional media and vloggers and people like me come out here I talk the truth every day. And if people want to see it and go take $5,000 for instant gratification and them not think ahead, they not think about their children's future, they not think in terms of how anti-immigration the world has become overnight, and realize it don't make no sense. You think about, well, if them win, me can just migrate. Because right now, to put Jamaica in a reverse, you migrating not going to fix it. And that to me cannot be patriotism. All right, so Miss Simone said if you keep the official launch. That's it, good enough. Because while we have people on this platform and other spaces talking about, whatever they talk about, nobody in Jamaica has really taken on or spoke about how non-traditional media has affected our country. We haven't heard that conversation yet, How social media and platforms like YouTube and how blogging, how that changed the landscape of, information in Jamaica. I am not much of a public speaker. I'd rather sit down and listen. But that is something that I could speak on, that I would be very happy to speak on. And the perfect example right out here up on YouTube. Perfect example of what the risers them try to do to the country and to the government on this platform, and then them take it off of this platform and them carry it, go say them go protest at Washington DC and nothing at all. And then came people like me and Karen and the rest of people, them 411 were out here and changed the whole game. Because some of them, including some politicians, they felt that they were going to have this space all to themselves. And they can push any narrative out here and tell all kind of lie on people and do all kind of wickedness. And they wouldn't have no opposition out here. They got a rude awakening. I can tell you that was Bunting's plan. He made have put the people them on social media, the vloggers them and the bloggers them, because so then take down the PNP and the people them inside of it. Then recruit the vloggers them and recruit the bloggers them. And then some bad bloggers come on the scene. And they're defeated. And worse like how them go lose election and so nobody not really pay them no mind again. And even the one them who them have out here now talking, as much as how them say them have bigger audience and whatever, them still have to contend with we, the truth people them. Because you see some of them people go up on them platform for go listen because, they're basically entertainment. Them go on with themselves and tell lies, and they're storytellers. Over here, so we're not storyteller, we tell the truth and share important information. But I am learning that those people, them and those, they consider us a major threat to what they're trying to do. Because people will come over here, can't hear something different and hear the truth. So any narrative that they try to set, which is not right or false, it's always going to be disputed. And that's not good for them. Mr. Vegas, Steady Show and the rest. Everybody. So this was not the expectation. It was not the expectation. Anyway, guys, we have a log out here now. What time? 10:30. But never think about a launch something. I think it's good. I think that would be a good opportunity to talk about how this new information age has changed Jamaica, how it's changed Jamaica, whether our government and those people have stepped up to the challenge and how they are navigating the space and so forth. Yeah, it's a good conversation. Anyway, guys, let us catch up. I may come on Sunday. I think we might hear from me again before the weekend is over. We'll see what happens. Which were... No, sir. I may outgrow them. There's something there. No, sir. Me don't think about it in about... Can't bother. If me even did go one thing, me that go there for say, Cartel, big up yourself. You run well for people, them. They almost trap you and trick you. But you run left them. Good for you. Anyway, who come late, you have to go rewind and come hear why PNP dirty tough for 2025. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Make sure you hit up the like button. And come back again. I'll catch you guys later.
The Jamaican people need the People's National Party back in government with Mark Jefferson Golden as the Prime Minister and a top honorary set of people around me for run the country.
If you can't tackle achievements and you can't tackle the fundamental that the government is fear, if you can't tackle policy, then what you start to tackle? What you start to attack? You start to attack people.
Well, look at us now, as Nesbitt would say. We have a country 40% down in murders. Now, who cannot be happy of that?